नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देशतारिणी। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देशतारिणी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय, 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 राधा रमन हरि गोविंद जय जय, राधा रमन हरि गोविंद जय जय, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, जय राधा गिरधारी राधे, जय राधा गिरधारी राधे, जय राधा गोपीनाथ राधे, जय राधा गोपीनाथ राधे, जय राधा गोपीनाथ राधे, जय राधा रस बिहारी राधे, जय राधा रस बिहारी राधे, जय राधा मदन मोहन राधे, जय राधा मदन मोहन राधे, जय राधा कुंज बिहारी राधे, जय बांके बिहारी बांके बिहारी राधे, जय राधा बांके बिहारी राधे, जय राधा माधव राधे, जय राधा माधव राधे, जय जगन्नाथ, जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा, जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी, नयन पथगामी भव तुम्हें। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी, नयन पथगामी भव तुम्हें। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। जय जय गुरुदेव 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 गुरुदेव। निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। बोले हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatim Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshchitam. Welcome everyone in Bhagavad Gita class. So we are in chapter number 13, sloka number 31. So we'll recite the sloka with translation and then we'll discuss on sloka followed by Mangalacharan. Chapter 13, sloka number 30. Prakrityeva cha karmani kriyamāṇāni sarvasah yah pashyati tathatmānam akartaram sapashyati. One who can see that all activities are performed by the body, which is created of material nature, and sees that the self does nothing, actually sees. Sloka number 31. Yada bhuta prithak bhavam ekastham anupashyati tata eva cha vistaram brahma sampadyate tada. When a sensible man ceases to see different identities due to different material bodies, and he sees how beings are expanded everywhere, he attains to Brahman and conception. Verse number 32. Anaditvan nirgunatvat paramatmayam avyayah sarirasthopi kaunteya na karoti na lipyate. Those with the vision of eternity can see that the imperishable soul is transcendental, eternal, and beyond the modes of nature. Despite contact with the material body, O Arjuna, the soul neither does anything nor is entangled. Verse number 33. Yatha sarvagatam sakshmyat akasam nopalipyate sarvatrava isthito dehe tathatmanopalipyate. The sky, due to its subtle nature, does not mix with anything, although it is all pervading. Similarly, the soul situated in Brahman vision does not mix with the body, though situated in that body. Verse number 34. Yatha prakashayatyekah krishnam lokam imam ravi kshetram kshetri tatha krishnam prakasayati bharata. O son of Bharat, as the sun alone illuminates all this universe, so does the living entity, one within the body, illuminate the entity's entire body by consciousness. Verse number 35. Kshetra kshetrayor evam antaram jnana caksusa bhuta prakriti moksham cha ye vidurayanti te param. Those who see with eyes of knowledge the difference between the body and the knower of body, and can also understand the process of liberation from bondage, in material nature attains to the supreme goal. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagar Jatam Sahagara Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsa Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavati Pashyata Desatarini He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyaeva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Once again, welcome everyone in Bhagavad Gita class. So, we are in chapter number 13, sloka number 31. So first, we'll see what we have seen in sloka number 30. So, in sloka number 30, we have seen that we'll recite the verse Prakityeva cha karmani Kriyamanani sarvasah Yah pashyati tathatmanam Akartaram sapashyati. One who can see that all activities are performed by the body, which is created of material nature, and sees that the self does nothing, actually sees. Hare Krishna. So, sloka number 30 talks about vision of actual seer. How you see, that makes difference. As we know that all activities are performed by this body, but this body is created by material nature. And it also says that the self does nothing. The one who can see, actually this is happening. Body is doing everything. Why? Because body is created by material nature. Self does nothing, means soul is not doing anything. Although soul resides in the body, but soul doesn't do anything. Everything is done by this material body. Why this is called a material body? Because this body is created by material nature. So, one can see that living entity is not doing anything. Soul is not doing anything. All activities are performed by the body. Okay. And this body is like a machine. And this body is given by Lord. Why this body is given by Lord? Because this body you have got, present body, according to previous desire. In the last body, what were your consciousness? Accordingly, you have got the new body. So your previous karma, your previous desire has actually got this body to enjoy in this material world. If you have done good karma, you will get good body and you will start from there itself doing the good things. But if you have started bad karma, you have desired material things, your past is not good, you will get another body according to your past karma and activities. So, according to body, you will be forced to act. If you have got a body of a deer, you will behave like a deer. If you have got a body of lion, tiger, you will behave like that. So, and if you are a lion, you will act like lion. So here, soul is not playing any role. Soul is just changing the body. Same soul is inserted in the desired body. So, your present body is according to your past karma and desire. Okay. So, if you know these things, you are the actual seer. Then, this is sloka number 30. Now, sloka number 31. Yada bhuta prithak bhavam ekastham anupashyati tat eva cha vistaram brahma samvatyate tada. When a sensible man ceases to see different identities due to different material bodies, and he sees how beings are expanded everywhere, he attains to the Brahman conception. Yada bhut prithag bhavam ekastham anupashyati tat eva cha vistaram brahma sampadyate tada. So, verse number 31 says, when one attains Brahman conception, if you have done good karma, you have chanted Hare Krishna Mahamantra loudly, consciously, and you have heard those words, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, if you have purified your consciousness, or only in purified consciousness, Krishna can develop Krishna consciousness. Okay, so ceases to see different identities due to different material bodies. Okay, so the one who has attained Brahman conception, he sees every living entity equal. Let it be stone, let it be any living entity, moving, non-moving, living, non-living. He sees everything equally. In every one's soul, Supreme Godhead, Supreme Personality of Godhead is present. So, Supreme Personality of Godhead is present in everyone's heart as Super Soul. And he knows how things are expanded everywhere. Okay, so, and he doesn't differentiate. He treats every living, non-living, moving, non-moving entity equally. He knows that it is the mercy of God that this person has got this body according to all his past deeds and karma. Okay, so this is the actual seer. Verse number 31, verse number 32 and 34, 234. Vision of actual seer. 32. Anaditya गुणत्वान निर्गुणत्वात् परमात्मायम् अव्ययः शरीरस्थोऽपि कौन्तेय न करोति न लिप्यते. Those with the vision of eternity can see that imperishable soul is transcendent, eternal, and beyond the modes of nature. Despite contact with the material body, O Arjuna, the soul neither does anything nor is entangled. So here, if body is entangled into a certain things, in material things, soul is not responsible. So that's why mind control is required. So when a person is known as Brahman vision, that one can see that the soul never mixes with the body. Whatever may be the reason, but soul never mixes with anybody. Body is doing everything. Body is the performer. Why body is the performer? Because every activity belongs to three modes of material nature. And this body also comes from material nature. So my body is the product of material nature. Whereas the soul which is residing in this body is imperishable, eternal, transcendental. It is beyond the three modes of material nature. So soul is related with super soul. Soul and super soul both are living together in our heart as a friend. Okay, so body is doing so many things, wrong things, right things, whatever. But soul is not responsible for that at all. Here, Lord Krishna gives two analogies. First analogy, Krishna says, sky doesn't mix with anything. You can see that sky is spread across the universe, but it never mixes with anyone. Like the sky, because of its subtle nature, doesn't mix with anything, although it is all pervading. Similarly, the soul in Brahman vision does not mix with the body, although it is situated in that body. So, soul is free. Soul can move into any body according to the past desire and karma. Air enters into mud, stool, water, but does not mix with anything. Similarly, the living entity is situated in variety of bodies, but remains aloof. Scientists cannot ascertain this, because scientists always looks for some proof. Scientists can never see soul is residing, soul and super soul are residing in our heart. They can never see. But the body, looking at the activities of body, we can say soul is present. If soul goes away, body is no more. It is like dead body. Okay, so sky doesn't mix with anything. Air doesn't mix with anything. Same air is there in mud, same air is there in stool, same air is there in water also. But air never mixes with anything. The second analogy, here Krishna says, as sun illuminates entire universe, living illuminates the entire body by consciousness. So if body is there and soul is also there in that body, then there will be consciousness. So consciousness is there because of soul's presence only. If soul is not there in the body, body becomes dead body. So consciousness is not a product of combination of matter, because when soul lives there is no more consciousness. So soul never mixes with body. Body is different, soul is different. That's why if soul is not there, body is dead body. So consciousness is created by only soul. No soul, no body. Body is dead. So what is the difference between supreme consciousness and individual consciousness? So supreme consciousness can be in everybody, but individual consciousness can be only in individual body. Okay. Although he is qualitative one with the supreme, super soul is conscious of all bodies. So soul and super soul both are transcendental, eternal. But soul is for individual body, super soul is for everybody. Super soul is pervaded everywhere, in everyone's heart. Okay, so that is the two analogy. Sun illuminates entire universe, living entities illuminates the entire body by consciousness. And another, sky doesn't mix with anything. Okay, so this is verse number 32. So, verse number 13.35, one verse chapter summary. In verse number 35, Krishna gives entire summary of chapter number 13. So what is the difference between body and the knower of body? So in this sloka, Krishna says Jnana caksusa. Jnana caksusa means what? Seeing with the eyes of knowledge. Jnana caksusa means eyes of knowledge. So what is the process of liberation from bondage in material nature? Okay, so one has to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and one attains the supreme goal. The one who is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra is already in samadhi, in trance. Okay, and Supreme God, Supreme Lord Krishna is there with his devotees always. When a devotee is doing something good, some seva, Krishna is just watching at his devotees and reward in many times of many fold of that. Okay, so this is the verse number 35. Verse number 35 says that 33, 34. So verse number 33 says, Yatha sarvagatam saukshmyat akasam nopalipyate sarvatrava isthite deho tathatmanopalipyate. The sky, due to its subtle nature, does not mix with anything, although it is all pervading. Similarly, the soul situated in Brahman vision does not mix with body, though situated in that body. Okay, so this example we have seen. Verse number 34. Yatha prakashayatyeka krishnam lokam imam ravi kshetram kshetri tatha krishnam prakashayati bharata. O son of Bharat, as the sun alone illuminates all this universe, so does the living entity, one within the body, illuminate the entire body by consciousness. How sun illuminates the entire universe by sunshine. If sunshine is there, we can guess that sun is there because sunshine comes from sun only. So if body is alive, we can say that soul is inside there. If body is dead, we can say soul has changed the body. soul has taken place of another body. Okay. So, in this way, we can say. Now, verse number 35. क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञयोर एवं अंतरम ज्ञान चक्षुषा भूत प्रकृति मोक्षम च ये विदुरयान्ति ते परम. A one verse chapter summary. So one should know the distinction between body, owner and super soul. So owner is soul and supreme owner is super soul. So this body is created by material nature. So whatever happens is performed by body only. Okay. So knower and supreme soul are not responsible for that. So in Bhagavad Gita, so verse number 13.8 to 12, the liberation process is discussed. And by performing these all sacrifices, activities, by taking Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one can go to the supreme destination. So what is the name of supreme destination? Golok Vrindavan Dham. Back to home, back to Godhead. Okay. So how this process works? So those who have faith regarding God always associate with devotees. So by doing sadhu sangha, guru, sadhu and sath, one can cross this material ocean. Okay, so good association plays very, very important role in our life. Always hear Krishna Leela, Krishna Katha about Lord Shri Krishna. Read Bhagavad Geeta, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So many literatures have been given by Srila Prabhupada. So we can read all these things. We can hear, we can chant, we can hear Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Always accept our spiritual master, the one who belongs to Parampara. The Parampara starts from Krishna. Krishna to Brahma, Brahma to Narad, and so on, that we are reading today. Okay, so, and also, you should know what is the difference between body and matter. So, if you know difference between body, matter, soul and super soul, you are already liberated. If you are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you are already in trance. The soul and super soul are separate, but they both reside in our heart. So, if soul is there, super soul is also there. One of is not there, then body will be dead body. If soul goes away, super soul also goes away with soul. Why? Because soul goes to take another body. Okay, so this is how this process works. Now, what is the conclusion of chapter 35? So, these process you have to follow for self-realization. Atma Sakshatkar. Okay, so one should understand this chapter clearly. One should understand this chapter from Guru, Sadhu and Shastra under a bona fide spiritual master. A spiritual guru, the one who belongs to Parampara system. Because the one who belongs to Parampara system can only give the solution of questions, answer of queries arised by devotees. Because a devotee has faith in God. So when he hears something about God, he may have question, and that question can be asked to a realized person. Okay, why? Because they are Tattvadarshi, and Tattvadarshi can answer the questions arise by devotees. Okay, you cannot ask question to anyone. You can ask question to only a eligible person. And who is the eligible person? The one who belongs to parampara system. Okay, so in this way we can realize Supreme Lord Krishna. So we can see that in 13th chapter, as Bhagavad Gita is concerned with the distinction and irrelationship between the body, soul and super soul. So soul is also known as Atma and super soul is also known as Paramatma. So Atma and Paramatma both resides together in our heart like a friend. So in the beginning of this chapter, Arjuna inquires about 6 items: Prakriti, material nature; Purusha, the enjoyer; Kshetra, the field; Kshetragya, the knower of the field; Jnana, knowledge; and Gyeya, the end of knowledge. Krishna defines Kshetra and Kshetragya respectively as the body and the soul. So body is Kshetra and soul is Kshetragya. Super soul is also Kshetragya. So soul and super soul are the knower of this body. They know this body. Further, he tells about 24 material elements that constitute the field of activity. What is this body made up of? Okay, so the 26th element is the super soul, existing in all moving and non-moving things. So, although we can see that super soul is attached or pervaded everywhere, but actually it is unattached, maintainer of all moving and non-moving things. Super soul is known as supreme maintainer of all moving and non-moving things. He is the responsible person. Okay, we can see in everyone's heart, super soul is there. It means they are divided. No, they are not divided. Super soul has the super consciousness of each body. Know the each body. Where the individual body is the knower of individual body only. Okay, so soul and super soul are transcendental, eternal. Okay. Then Krishna describes Prakriti, material nature, consisting of 3 modes: Satogun, Rajogun, and Tamogun. Goodness, passion, and ignorance. So Krishna describes Prakriti. And Purusha, the living entity. So living entities are known as Purusha. And super soul is Purushottama. So no one is Purushottam. Only Krishna, super soul, is known as Purushottama. And he discusses the cause and nature of Jiva's material entanglement. So Krishna also mentions that different paths for realization of super soul dhyana, Sankhya, Karma Yoga, and the path of receiving knowledge from authorities. In the final verse of 13th chapter, Krishna says on essential theme of the chapter. What is the relationship between matter, soul, and super soul? Okay, so he explains who is Kshetra and who is Kshetragya. So Kshetra is body and Kshetragya is soul. And beyond which is the super soul. Soul and super soul both are eternal and transcendental. So Krishna declares that one in knowledge who sees distinction between body and soul and who understands the process of soul's liberation from the body attains to the supreme goal. The one who has knowledge about Krishna, the one who has knowledge about super soul is liberated. Okay, so this is all about chapter number 13. So in chapter number 13 we have 35 shloka. Okay, so we'll stop over here. If you have any question, you can ask. श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय। शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हरे कृष्ण।